Cameroon's agricultural sector in brief. Hello, on behalf of ARM TV, I would like to welcome you to another informative content on Discovery Cameroon series. Discovery Cameroon is a weekly series where you get informed, educated, and entertained with amazing content from across Cameroon. In today's video, we will be giving you a brief presentation of Cameroon's agricultural sector. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you do not miss out on any of our newly released videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, we love you. Share with us in the comment section your topics of interest you would like us to cover, and we will bring it up to you. Agriculture exists as one of the chief sectors in every African economy and plays a central role in achieving development. Farming represents 32% of continental African GDP, and subsistence farming alone employs over half the population of Sub-Saharan Africa. No country has ever successfully made the transition to industrialization without first developing its agricultural sector. Despite seemingly slow progress, agriculture has been a focus in Africa's national agendas for years. In 2003, the African Union designed a comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program, which today is the continent's guide to agricultural development. The Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program rests on four pillars: increasing land under cultivation. Cultivable land in Africa is not being farmed, linking farmers to markets through innovation in the value chain, increasing the yields of staple foods, and investing more in research and technology. Cameroon is a country located at the sub-equatorial region of Africa. Cameroon shares boundary in the north with Chad, in the east with Central African Republic, in the south with Gabon, and in the west with Nigeria. Cameroon is divided into four ecological zones and has two principal climatic zones. The Western Highland is one of these agroecological zones of the country and lies between latitude 4 degrees north and latitude 6 degrees north, and between longitude 9 degrees east and 11 degrees east. The main farming systems here include shifting cultivation, bush fallowing, terracing, dry farming systems. Main crops cultivated include Irish potatoes, tomatoes, rice, yams, corn, and cassava. Cultivation here starts during the rainy season and more concentrated around in the plain, where favorable topography and the presence of a dam provide favorable conditions. Mean monthly temperature ranges from about 15 degrees centigrade on the highlands to about 27 degrees in low-lying regions. With a population of 26.5 million inhabitants, agricultural sector is responsible for providing food security to both the Cameroonian rural and urban populations via local production. The nation is endowed with significant natural resources including oil, gas, minerals, and timber. Although Cameroon is ranked as the fifth biggest oil producing in Sub-Saharan Africa, its agricultural sector remains the most important for its economy, as it accounts for about half of the country's total exports. Small-scale farmers make up the majority of food producers. Cameroon is no different than other African nations in that its agricultural sector is vital to its economy. Its agricultural technology yields lag behind non-African developing countries, but its agricultural potential is great. It's $7.12 billion or 41,840 billion CFA in gross domestic product. The agricultural sector accounts for 29.9%. 62% of the Cameroonian population is employed by agriculture, according to a report by the French Ministry of Agriculture, while some estimate agriculture may employ up to 70% of the population. Exports of agricultural goods total 390 billion CFA, while imports total 655,000 billion CFA, yielding a trade deficit of 265,000 billion of its 475,000 square kilometer physical area. 15% of Cameroon is arable land, and with its four ecological zones and fertile soils, Cameroon has the potential for food sovereignty. Prior to the 1980s, Cameroon possessed food sovereignty. However, in the 1980s, most West African countries joined the World Trade Organization and had to alter trade policies to comply with multilateral rule, or rather the interests of economic powers of the global north. With the liberalization of markets came the end of protectionist policies and the self-sufficiency of Cameroon. Following the global economic crisis of 1985 and 1986, African governments recognized the importance of small farming as a guarantor of food security and emphasized its development. Despite the continental increased emphasis on local small-scale agriculture, Cameroon has not regained food sovereignty and remains export-dependent. In theory, Cameroon has committed to developing its agricultural sector. Country leaders signed and ratified the CAADP agreement in 2003, an act that committed them to spending 10% of national expenditures on agriculture. While Cameroon currently practices family and subsistence farming, it is asserted that there must now be a shift to intensive agriculture and second-generation agriculture, which demands farming expectations of at least 2 hectares and large amounts of capital. Currently, 98% of Cameroon's food producers are small farmers who, for the most part, cultivate farms between 500 meters squared and 1 hectare in an area. The proliferation of agro-industry in Cameroon has led multinational agricultural and industrial companies to procure land around the country for various purposes, including farming, transformation, and forestry. Recently, foreigners have turned to Africa and Cameroon to buy land as reserves, these people being mostly wealthy individuals. In order to experience a larger boom in Cameroon, there is a universal consensus that Cameroon needs mechanization, modernization, and transformation. Modernization includes the development of irrigation systems and the widespread use of fertilizers to increase production. Today, 95% of Cameroonian agriculture is rain-based, meaning that only 5% is conducted using irrigation systems. Of its 10 regions, the southwest, northwest, west, littoral, north, and far north regions of Cameroon are considered as the top 5 most agricultural productive regions of Cameroon. Within these regions, you will find some of the country's largest plantations, which are either government-owned or privately owned. Examples include the Cameroon Development Corporation (CDC), Pamos, Sodecoton, Tole, and more. It should be noted that agricultural products produced in these plantations are distributed across national markets and as well exported to generate revenue for the country. The Cameroon government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has over the years been putting in large efforts to promote the agricultural sector. It has always put local farmers at the forefront of its project by providing them with modern agricultural farm machineries like tractors, which will enable them move from the traditional method of tilting the soil to modern ways. It has well supported through the provision of fertilizers, the organization of seminars on modern farming methods, how to increase productivity, the opening of farm to market roads, and the regulation of market price of agricultural products. Coming to the end of this content, it is worth reiterating that agriculture in Cameroon is an industry that has much potentials. Currently, agriculture in Cameroon is re-emerging as a promising industry and young people are returning to the land. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you did and drop a word in the comment section. Don't forget to share with us your topic of interest you would like us to cover and we will bring it up to you. Please share, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you get notified whenever we release a new video. See you next time on Discovery Cameroon.